After the eclipse, a new energetic baseline was set at the eclipse. A new energetic baseline comes in, but it's prone to a lot of misunderstanding, misinterpretation, and misdirection. So we're going to talk about what this means to you to have a new baseline. What does this bring up? How are you supposed to feel? What is it going to make you feel that's new and different from before? And I want to share with you why we're having this conversation today. I went shopping a little bit earlier with my husband, and I approached the shops as I always do, rocking my just rolled out of bed look. No makeup, no hair, just this thing was going on. And I hear this voice, because of course it's going to happen when I'm not prepared. I hear this voice behind me go, "Wow, you look just like someone on YouTube." And I really wanted to turn around and go, "Really?" But I couldn't. So she said, "Are you Carrie Kay?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, thankfully, turning the topic of conversation to the eclipse, here's what she said. She said, although," hi Gabby, by the way, it was lovely to meet you. She says, "Although we've got this new energy coming in, this upgrade from the eclipse," because guys, that's what it is. It's a massive, 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 incalculable upgrade. She said, "I don't feel great." And I should be, right? Like I should be feeling more elevated, but I'm not. And I say to her the same thing I want to say to you, and that is, God, you got to be where you are. If ever there was the time for you to learn the fine art of being where you are, this is it now. Then, earlier today, I had this discussion with my online community, and somebody asked three people, in fact, asked a similar question in different ways. And I'm going to share with you what I shared in the community call, because it was so incredibly powerful. But before I talk about that, let's come back to be where you are. Sometimes when you are where you are, it's because that's the only way for you to stop being where you've been. You've got to be with what is so that you can stop being with what was. This, when you are in the now, is where you get to resolve and dissolve the density you've been carrying around, the confusion you've been carrying around, the past life trauma, baggage stuff, ancestral lineage, broken records, everything, the story, everything you've been carrying. You don't get to discharge it until you step fully into the now. And when you step into the now, you'll know you're there, because you feel very vulnerable, you feel very raw, you feel very almost, I want to use the word self-doubt, trepidation, that's the word. You're filled with trepidation because you're going, ooh, what is this? So there's a vulnerability and an uncertainty because you're in the unknown. The logical mind, which is the seat of the ego, that part of ourselves will always gravitate to the known. It wants to lead you to the known, because that's where the ego has the illusion of safety, the illusion of control, the illusion of predictability, even when the past is you being racked with guilt and self-punishment and self-sabotage and all of the story that you've become so familiar with. It's familiar. So you're going to hang out in the familiarity rather than be in the uncertainty and be in the unfamiliarity. And part of the reason behind this is because the ego perceived the unknown to be unsafe. But it's the unknown that becomes the door. It's not really the unknown. It is the unhooking out of the time matrix. That's how we escape the time matrix. We step into the now. And I've shared this with you guys before. The now is not the same as the present. It sounds the same. We confuse those two meanings. The present is the present moment. Whatever the time is right now, that's the present moment. The now is something different. The now is a timelessness. This is why meditation is so important, because it really helps to anchor you into and solidify you into the unpredictable, unfamiliar, powerful now. We confused that from the vantage point of the ego. We thought, oh no, that place is scary. That place is bigger than me. That place is bigger than I can contend with. So I'm just not going to go there. That was the ego mind speaking, which wasn't bad and it wasn't wrong. That's exactly what we came to experience. The ego is the part of us that came to navigate the false matrix, and it did a beautiful job. But now you're getting to bring home the true self, the authentic self, and that's coming online for you. Here is part of what we've got to master, and it does take mastery. Stepping into the now, yes. Stepping into how you are, where you are, who you are, as you are in the now. No frills, no filter. No backward gazing, no forward gazing. Just unpredictable presence. So I'm sharing this with my online community, and this is where questions become the most valuable thing. Questions that other people ask me, because the questions that came up, although they were very different, all centered around the same thing, which was people saying, look, this sounds lovely. Essentially, be in the now, be with where you are, feel, because that's what I was saying. You got to feel the moment. And when you feel the moment, amazing alchemy happens. Amazing stuff occurs. When you are in the now and you let yourself feel what you feel as it is, no filters, what happens then is, if it's truth, you anchor it in. You got to trust the earth now, because the earth is working with you. Yeah, baby. The earth is drawing almost like a magnet truth into itself, and you become the holder of the magnet, and you anchor that divine truth into the planet. And a lot of people are going to hear that and go, that's exactly why I don't want to feel my density, because that's going to get anchored in. No, it doesn't work that way. When you feel your density, this is why I said you got to trust the earth right now. You got to trust higher frequency right now. You got to trust the fact that the light workers are leading the timeline right now. This means that that which is not truth does not get anchored. We've got a new baseline. We are used to false matrix style. We're used to having density be anchored into the timeline. It is not anymore. We're not used to this. So we always protected our density because we were trying to protect the earth from it, people from it, the timeline from it. We almost didn't want any overspill of it. You're surrounded by a blanket of what I want to call truth, which is simply cosmic resonance, universal, pure, untainted, universal consciousness. That's what's pouring, streaming into our reality right now. And as it does, the earth draws it in. I've put up a video for you guys about this before. Rods of light. Each light worker on the planet right now becomes a holder for a rod, at least one, sometimes multiple rods of light, ground through you into the planet. And that's an anchor point for truth, but only truth gets anchored because there is a natural inbuilt filter right now. This is the nature. This is not anything special. This is just the nature of the organic universe that we haven't interacted with for eons. As this occurs and we have this new baseline on the planet, it becomes so imperative to discharge density, being in the now, feel what you feel, trusting that it's discharged and not anchored in. You don't have to protect people from your so-called negativity or from whatever it is that you've gone into self-punishment about, denial about, self-sabotage about, not good enoughness about, whatever that stuff is, whatever the story is. You don't have to hide it and protect it anymore. You've got to be with it to discharge it. That's a process of alchemy, and you're a natural alchemist. Because never was there an easier time to be that alchemist, because the baseline that you're working with now, that you're supported by now, that's in the air around you now, that's effortless for you now, holds higher resonance if you tune into it, if you let yourself be bolstered by this delicious cosmic support that surrounds you. It's like a thick, warm, soothing, honey-like universal texture, light, feeling, presence. That's there, which means you've got permission to be where you are, Don't even protect yourself from it. Just be where you are. Don't filter it. Allow yourself. By the way, if you need therapeutic support, please reach out your hand and get that therapeutic support. Allow yourself to be where you are, and then the discharge becomes automatic, and what's left is that baseline resonance. Here's the very amazing question that I was asked today. People were talking about feeling, and somebody said, I struggle. I loved this. She said, I really struggle to feel. And I said, but that's a feeling. Struggle is a feeling. It's not that you struggle to feel. That's not the issue. The issue is you don't like what you're feeling because it's a feeling of inflexibility or a feeling of not flowing. It's a feeling of struggle. It's a feeling of pain. It's a feeling of hardship, or it's a feeling of nothing. It's still a feeling. See, we've had this expectation of what we're supposed to feel. So that's what we're going for. We're going for what we think we should feel, what we ought to feel, what we're conditioned to think successful spirituality looks like. And then we compare that to where we are in the moment, which might be down, depressed, confused, anxious, whatever the case might be. And that's when the judgment creeps in and we dismiss what we feel and say, I can't feel anything. Instead of saying, I can't feel what I want to feel, but I can feel this. Be there. I can feel this. I can feel nothing, or I can feel something annoyingly subtle, or I can feel irritated because I don't have . These are all feelings that describe where you are. Please don't think that you need to put them into words, because you truly don't. Honestly, this is not about an analytical endeavor. This is about presence. Now, you guys, if you want to go deep into the teachings that I'm sharing with you now, and I do mean deep, 2.5 hours kind of masterclass deep, do join the Plasma Light Tribe. Today was call number 168, and that is where the in-depth, the deep dive into how exactly we do this, how exactly we feel into the present moment, and all those gorgeous questions that came up that facilitated such a beautiful, powerful insight and understanding to all people. By the way, that call ends with such a spectacular truth that I want to share with you guys. I did a soul reading for somebody right at the end, and it was all about self-sacrifice, and it was all about how this is not our home anymore. Self-sacrifice, the false matrix, pain, trauma, torment. It's not your home anymore. It's not where your base resonance is anymore. There's a new precedent that's been set, but you've got to meet the new precedent by coming into the moment. Now, imagine if you didn't know that. Imagine if you didn't know that you've got to leave the old story behind and really center yourself into this new, unfamiliar nowness, and experience it as a feeling, not a thought. Experience it as an energy, not a mental construct. And immerse yourself in it and let it hold you, giving you permission and freedom to be exactly, fully, absolutely, truly as you are, where you are. Man, that's going to give you so much more trust in life to let go. Now, let's do a little bit of energy work, shall we? Let's end today's call by doing just a little smidgen of love activation. Just a little taste. Just a little reminder of why you're safe. Because I can say to you, you're safe to be where you are, however that is. And I want you to really know this, that one day where you are is going to be fabulous. And you're going to be grounding fabulosities into the earth, and that's just gorgeous. And then another day where you are is going to be the opposite of fabulous. It's okay. Remember what I said earlier? We had so many people today sharing this very human experience of dismissing what they feel because it's not what they think they should feel. So they even land up saying things like, well, I can't feel. You can. Because you're a being of energy. Before you're a body, long before you showed up as something that's reflective in a mirror, you are a field of energy. That's your infinite nature. You are a field of cosmic light. And as I bring that reminder to you, I want you to feel yourself like you're settling, like you're sinking into and settling into the comfort of what it is to be alive as energy, to be reminded, that's who I am. Yeah, that's what I am. And I exist fully. Now take this in. I exist fully in the now. Which is not the past, and it's not the future, and it's not even the present. I exist fully in the infinite field of now where God exists, where the universe is in perpetual, omnipotent, unconditional creation. Do you know what unconditional creation is? It's an expression of unconditional love outpouring into worlds. You're a part of that. And it's okay if while I'm talking to you, because there's a lot of energy coming through these words, it's okay if you feel like you're zooming out a little bit. Now, zoom in. Great way to do that is to physically put your hand on your heart, put your hand just center of your chest. And with your hand touching the center of your chest, I want you to affirm the simplest truth. The simplest truth that you can right now, remembering that the simplest is most often the most powerful. I am. That means you're validating your presence. I am. That means you're not defining yourself as anything but energy. I am. It's a stillness, it's a frequency. It's a presence. It's a connection to life, life force, life source, God consciousness. I am. You have a new baseline to support you, and it is. But what you've just done with me now is bringing yourself more deeply into the now, so that you can be more lovingly held and supported by the new baseline. This is from my heart. Do you feel it? All the way to yours. Be where you are, as you are, always.